Since the dawn of humankind, men and women have been flirting, romancing each other, and falling in love. At first, communication between men and women was primitive. Over time, with the development of new communication technologies, the way people in relationships communicated with each other changed dramatically.
Well, I have a ticket for the High School Carnival Saturday, and, well, would you like to go?
Why, yes, Woody. I'll have to talk to my folks about it.
Today's digital technology has revolutionized dating, romance, and love. People are no longer connected just physically. They're digitally connected too. We can have instant communication with special people in our lives. However, being in closer contact through electronic communications provides a semblance of safety through non-committal. Technology is also a great way to meet new people and get to know them. In the past, flirting only existed in the physical world. Flirting is behaving as though you're attracted to or trying to attract someone. You'd have to flirt in close proximity to the person through notes and letters. Today, you can flirt with people across the country or around the world instantaneously. Flirting can be when you compliment someone, joke around a little bit, and just have some fun. Digital flirting is also a very efficient way of figuring out if someone you're attracted to is really worthy of your time and effort. Sometimes they're not. Flirting is subtle. It's not flirting when the boundaries of your flirty texting enter into the realm of sexting. That's when the benefits of having a digital relationship come to a dead end.
Flirting and sexting are really two completely different things. Flirting is the act of one individual trying to attract another through how we speak, how we try to engage someone in conversation. We let them know that we find them attractive. We let them know that we like them or what they do or what they're wearing. Sexting is a very different thing. Sexting is when we're exposing parts of our bodies to show that to someone else in the hopes that they'll like us more. It's actually pretty self-denigrating. We take away from who we are. It's showing very little respect for ourselves. Where if I like myself enough, I think that you will like me as well just by talking to me. I don't have to send you a picture of any part of my body for you to like me more.
The legal definition of sexting is the exchange of sexually explicit text messages, including photographs, via cell phone. Despite the concerns associated with sexting, it has become a part of life for many people. But there's a lot of risk associated with sexting. Why? Because once you hit the send button, you lose total control of that text or photograph. It can be quickly shared with many people. The first thing to understand is that there is no such thing as a safe sext. A study by the Internet Watch Foundation showed that up to 88% of self-generated images have been collected and shared on other sites. We all do embarrassing things sometimes. Even your parents and grandparents did embarrassing things when they were younger. The only difference is, when they did something, it was rarely seen by anyone else. Today, any embarrassing moment can be captured on a phone and shared with the rest of the world. When inappropriate pictures are sent through social media, embarrassment, humiliation, and even harassment often follow. Sexting may seem like harmless fun to some people, but more often than not, it can have very serious personal and social consequences. The minute you take a nude or semi-nude picture of yourself and send a sexually explicit message, there can be immediate consequences. Once you hit send, the internet never forgets.
He wanted pictures for me. He wanted to see my body. He just texted me one day and said, "You should do it." I said no. He said, "If you love me, you'll do it. If not, I'll leave you." I didn't want to lose him. I just wanted to make him happy. I thought that's what I was supposed to do. My friends said it was normal to do it. So I did. It came back to haunt me when we broke up a week later. In a couple of hours, those pictures that were meant for his eyes only were sent to all his friends. Kids made disgusting comments, called me derogatory names. It was really painful. I was humiliated. My reputation is ruined.
I had a scholarship to college and I was really excited about it. Then my high school found out about some tweets that I had sent. They said the messages were sexually explicit and I got expelled. The next thing I knew, the college pulled my scholarship. I know what I did was inappropriate, but now it's affecting my whole future.
There was a boy at school I really liked. My friend said I could get his attention if I sent him some suggestive pictures of myself to kind of get him interested. So I did. Then he sent me pictures of himself, and he asked me to send him more. So I did. Well, my mom found those pictures. Now, I had learned that you should never have anything on your phone that you wouldn't want your parents to see. But I never thought that would happen to me. Well, my parents went to the police, and he got charged with sexual harassment.
Shock and shame in Colorado this morning as hundreds of high school students are caught in a sexting scandal, accused of using their phones to share nude pictures. Some could face serious charges.
Teens who sext can also face criminal charges that include felony and misdemeanor offenses, like possession or creation of child pornography, distributing or possessing a sexually explicit photo, or communicating with a minor with the intent of a lewd act. Some states have specific sexting laws. So there are personal, social, and legal consequences to sexting. But sexting can also have serious emotional consequences. If you send a sexually explicit photo and it goes viral, you open yourself up to persistent sexual harassment from peers. And research shows that can lead to deep depression and even suicide.
The psychological aspects of a sexting photo gone bad, and the reason why it's so important to be very protective about our own self-image and sending pictures of ourselves is because today in the social media that exist, we might think that we're sending a picture to one person when in fact we're probably sending a picture to many, many more. If someone becomes angry, which is a very childish thing to do, but it happens all the time, and posts that photo someplace else, now your self-image is everywhere. So the psychological concerns there might be the ongoing worry of who's going to see that, where is it, who has it. That's why the best thing to do to keep your own self-respect and believing in yourself more is to never sext. Never send anyone a picture of yourself that's only going to make you feel bad.
There's another sexting term you need to be aware of: sextortion. Sextortion is a form of sexual exploitation. It occurs when someone threatens to distribute your private materials if you don't provide them with images of a sexual nature, sexual favors, or money. Here's how it works.
I can't do that.
If you don't, those pictures you sent to your boyfriend will arrive in a folder in your daddy's email tomorrow morning.
Please don't do that.
It's your choice.
Sextortion can have a devastating effect on your life. The good thing is, there are many things you can do to avoid becoming a victim of sextortion. Never send compromising images of yourself to anyone, no matter who they are or who they say they are. Don't open attachments from people you don't know. And turn off your electronic devices and web cameras when you're not using them. Now, if you find you're being victimized and you're receiving sextortion threats, you have to tell an adult or contact law enforcement. You can help them find these criminals and stop them from damaging your life. There is no such thing as a safe, risk-free sext message. Though some social media apps promise the destruction of photos and videos after a few seconds, the person viewing it can grab a copy by taking a screenshot or photo with another device. Whenever you're sending or sharing information or photos of yourself, there's always the risk of having a parent, college admissions officer, or future boss see it. So be careful what you put out there.
My boyfriend wants me to send him naked pictures. What do I do?
When you ask yourself this question, it definitely shows good judgment on your part. it's important to stop and think about the possible downsides of complying with such a request. The fact is, you're probably asking because there's that little voice in your head telling you, this is not a good idea. Here's a tip. Trust yourself. To avoid problems, the best idea is to not take the picture in the first place.
But I want to make my boyfriend happy. It's hard to say no.
Okay, I understand. Saying no is not easy. It never has been.
You get home from a date, and it's still early enough to stay outside for a while, to talk. Some talk, but just give him half a chance alone, and there's just no stopping him.
Lots of times in relationships, you might sacrifice your own needs and allow yourself to be controlled by someone else because you're afraid of losing them. Any relationship where you give up your own values to attempt to save the relationship should be questioned. If you put someone else's needs ahead of yours, that's a classic sign of low self-respect. You have to trust your instincts. Learn to put your needs first. Do what's right for you. That's what self-respect is all about.
The reason why it's important to keep your self-respect and do what's right for you is because we live with ourselves even after whatever relationship we're trying to get into today is gone. And to think back, and maybe in the future you might have a child, you might have a significant other, and to always have the worry of having that photo out there could be pretty traumatic. So it's important to always feel good about yourself and know that everything that you've done you can be proud of.
What if my boyfriend gets angry?
Here's the thing. If your boyfriend is a good guy, he may be disappointed, but he'll have more respect for you if you stay true to your values. So how do you keep your self-respect and keep the person you're in a relationship with happy? What's the alternative to sexting? Think of creative ways to say no.
I don't want to risk sending a compromising picture to someone, so I try to be funny and let him know my feelings. For example, this guy I was seeing asked me to send him a picture of me in the shower. I did, with a note telling him, I like to keep things clean. He laughed and thought I was cute and clever. I told him I have a lot more to offer than my body, and he liked that.
This girl sent me a text that said, I think you're hot. Send me a hot pic. So I sent her this.
I told him straight up, I like to take pictures of us to remind me of how much fun we have.
To stay true to yourself and maintain your self-respect, here's what you have to do. Consider what is appropriate to share, and with whom. Then develop firm, healthy, and respectful boundaries that will protect your relationships in regard to with whom you communicate on social media and how you communicate. Know who you are, and stay true to yourself.
The best strategy, I believe, that someone can use to say no to sending nude photos or other risky behaviors is just to avoid people who are asking you for nude photos. Someone who's asking you for that isn't someone who has your best interest in mind. They're not out to get to know you or anything about you. They're out to just get that nude photo.
Social media is awesome when it's used appropriately. It allows us to stay connected with people in our lives, and there are a lot of great benefits to that. But like everything else, there are pitfalls when social media is not used appropriately. You know the personal, social, emotional, and legal consequences of sexting. Now it's up to you. Someday, you'll probably find yourself in a situation asking yourself the question, should I hit send or not? When you do, stop and ask yourself this question. Am I totally prepared for this compromising picture of myself or this explicit text message to be leaked to the world? If yes, go ahead and hit the send button. If not, it means you respect yourself. So sit back and relax. You've got this.